Hey everyone, I want to welcome you to today's webinar where the topic today is 6 steps to taming your business so that you can maximize your full potential. So if that's what you're interested in learning about today, that's what we're going to be talking about. Now for those of you who don't know me, my name is Nate Short. I am the founder of Run Your Business Like a Business, also known as RYBLAB.com, and I want to welcome you. Over the next 30 minutes, we're going to spend some time together, and I really appreciate you taking time out of your day to learn about this material I'm going to be presenting. I'm super passionate and excited to present it to you, so I thank you for being here. The first thing I want to do is ask you this question. On a scale of 1 to 10, how happy are you in the business? But also, how happy are you with how it integrates in with what you got going on in life? If you are a 10 and you're like, there is nothing I can do better, Nate, this is perfect, my business is awesome, my life is awesome, I love my life-work balance, you probably don't need to watch this webinar. But if you are a 9 or below, I think you're going to be really interested to hear what I have to say. So who did I build this webinar for? Well, the first group are those high performers. These are most of the people that are in our coaching program, actually. These are the people that are having their best year ever, or maybe last year was their best year ever. They are super excited with their business. They're super excited with their life and what's going on. They are, having their best years and they want to go higher, but maybe they're reaching some kind of a ceiling. So I don't know if that's you, but that's the first group. The second group of people are the people that are underperforming. They're the people that are looking up at the high performers and going, I can be there. Why am I not at that level? I'm just as good. I have more experience. In fact, I think I'm better, but yet I'm not getting the results that I want. So if that's you, you'll want to hang on for the next 30 minutes. And then this last group of people, the people that I call are on the edge. They are people that are frustrated. Maybe COVID has been really difficult. Maybe you've got kids at home and you're trying to balance and manage everything. Maybe you're just really frustrated. You're almost to the point where you're going to get out of the business. We've had people like that. They need to be reignited in the business. So if you fit into one of these 3 groups, and I've certainly been in one of these groups at different times in my career, so I know how it is. I've built this webinar for you. So what we're going to be talking about over the next 30 minutes or so, we might go a little bit longer, is the 6 steps to taming your business so that you can be your best. And that's what I'm calling the Realtor Operating System, or the ROS. Okay, so here's my promise to you. As you stick with this webinar, by the end, I'm going to give you a step-by-step recipe for controlling your business so that you can maximize your full potential. And if you fill out one of our strategy session applications at the end, if you're interested enough in this material, I'm also going to give you this high performance habits book, which is part of our coaching. We've integrated into our coaching program. And I'll tell you a little bit more about that as we go through the presentation. So a few house rules. There is no magic in what I'm going to be talking about today. I'm not going to talk about short sales or expired listings or some miraculous way to build your business. What I'm going to be talking about is how to make more money, the recipe, work less, if that's important to you, achieve better life balance, achieve your goals, and really be the best that you can be, maximize your full potential. But here's the thing is, we know it takes a lot of hard work. It takes discipline, it takes dedication, and it also takes a certain amount of faith that what you're working on is actually going to pay off. And so talk a little bit about that. A lot of us know at the end of the day what it takes to be our best, the things that we need to do. The problem is we just don't do them. And that's where coaching comes in. So I want to ask you a couple questions, some questions to ponder. First of all, do you struggle with what to work on and how to prioritize your day, your week, and your month? Most people that come into our coaching programs, they come in and they start working and they get into the office and they start, doing their to-dos, and then they get a phone call or they get a text message or their son or daughter calls them and says, Mom, I need to come home from school. I'm not feeling well, or whatever it is. And we get distracted. And they say that when we get these distractions, it actually takes us about 25 to 30 minutes to get back on track. And this happens a lot in real estate. So I don't know if that's you, but I certainly have had those situations happen in my life. Do you find yourself constantly thinking about your business and working too much? You're laying in bed at night and you're thinking, oh, did I order the sign? Did I call that person back? I don't know if that's you, but this is such a detailed business. There's so many different things to do, and yet as individual business owners, a lot of times we're doing pretty much everything, and things slip through the cracks. So that's another question to ponder. I don't know if you've had those situations. Do you often feel like you're spending too much money on your business, or you're spending a lot of money and you're just not sure how much it's actually paying off? What are my results? Have you had this postcard program for years and years and years, but you never really measured how many leads are coming in from that postcard program, or your phone calls, or your activities? A lot of us are just shooting from the hip, and we're just kind of going with the flow, and we never really measure the results of our efforts. So that's a big one. Do you wonder how you can handle certain situations with clients better? This is a tough business in that you're dealing with one of the biggest decisions a person makes in life, and it's very emotional. This is one of the most stressful transactions a person will have, right? And so how are we handling our clients and those situations that come up? Maybe it's a difficult discussion that we have to have, or maybe it's something that happens in the middle of a transaction that we have to deal with, a problem. So how can we deal with those better? Are you struggling with what CRM to use, or what apps you need on your phone, and how to sift through all this new technology? The world is accelerating, it's not slowing down. They say in the next 10 years, the world is going to progress more, rapidly in technology than it has in the last 50. And think about that. Like even in the last 20, we've had all these apps and how cell phones have changed. Think about the first cell phone, the Apple phone, for example, iPhone in the early 2000s, what that was like. And think about all social media and how much the world has changed, and it's going to accelerate. How are we going to have a way to deal with that? Do you oftentimes feel like you're out on an island when it comes to running your business? Most of us are sole proprietors, or maybe we're in an S-corp type of a corporation structure, but we're operating by ourselves. We're handling the sales and marketing, we're handling the operations, we're handling the finance and all the administration, the accounting work. We're trying to do it all, and yet we're doing it by ourselves. We don't have a person to really be a sounding board, or an entity to be a sounding board for us to run our businesses better. So I don't know if these resonate with you, but if you are struggling with some or all of these questions, you probably haven't made the shifts necessary to get the results that you want and really take yourself to that next level. And so we want to talk a little bit about that now. So that's what RYBLAB is why I created RYBLAB, was to be able to help agents with these types of questions, but also ask the right questions, help them arrive at the answers for them. And that is what great coaching is. It's asking great questions, not giving advice. And that's a really key distinction, I think, that people don't understand about coaching. So who am I? Well, my name is Nate Short. Again, I introduced myself at the beginning. I'm the founder of Run Your Business Like a Business. I've been a top producing realtor for over 20 years now. I can't believe it's been that long, but I've learned so much, all of the ups and downs and going through the Great Recession, and also coaching over 3,000 real estate agents. I've really been able to gain a lot of knowledge around that. I'm also a certified high performance coach. I'm going to talk about that in a minute. And I specialize in helping realtors really run their businesses like real businesses. So we're going to talk about that. So here's a thing that I wanted to talk about first is at the beginning of all my presentations, especially early on, I would give a 30-question survey that had a bunch of different questions about how people were running their businesses. And I learned a lot of different things about how these agents are running their businesses and some observations as well. And here's just a few of the highlights. 10% of the agents are making 90% of the commissions. It's not an 80-20 rule in real estate. And you probably know this, you look in your office and you see those high producers or those people that you drive around a neighborhood and it's all about them. Their signs are everywhere. They're making 90% of the commissions. And why is that? Very interesting. 30%, this is one of the reasons I think, is 30% actually have a plan. So only 3 in 10 realtors put together a business plan. And even fewer check back on those plans, regularly review those plans to help them guide them in their businesses. 12% track their numbers and profitability. 50% are in the wrong corporate structure. 19% have a routine and a system for prioritizing, and 54% of the agents are actually paying their taxes on time. And the list goes on. There's a lot of other questions we asked, a lot of other things that we learned, and this is what we help agents with, kind of getting control, taming their businesses so they can be their best. So how do we do that? Well, I'm going to explain that now. I'm going to go through the 6 steps, the meat of the presentation, to really taming your business. And here they are. So the first step, the first pillar, is what we call clarity and vision. It's having a really clear idea of okay, what is my business like right now? And where do I want to take it? Where am I going to be going with my business? So that pillar is super important. The second part of our recipe is focusing on people and influence. And what do I mean by that? As individual agents, most of us are these, individual owners in our businesses, right? And we're doing everything. We're doing the sales and marketing. We're doing the operations. We're doing the finance and the administration. We're trying to do it all. And yet we wonder why we're working 50, 60, 70 hours and up a week and getting tired in the business because we're not building the support. And that's where bringing the right people in, putting them in the right seats, but also not just that, also having a better way to, communicate and train and educate and interact with them. And so that is a big part of our coaching. The third pillar, the third part of our recipe, creating great business systems where we're not, duplicating or we're not having to reinvent the wheel on things like listing presentations or doing my CMAs or how to prep a house for sale. But it's not just that, it's also creating great routines within our day that have a compound effect. I don't know if you've read the book by Darren Hardy called The Compound Effect, but a really great book, very influential book in my career. And it's creating those great routines that eventually start to have these really huge benefits. So those 3 pillars are kind of our first foundational pillars that we coach on. The 4th pillar is what I call review and improve. So we have to have a way to, as we put out these efforts and build these systems and routines, we have to have a way to measure, are they working? And if they're not, don't get down on ourselves or don't quit, but make the necessary adjustments. We improve to actually see if we can get better results. And that's one of the ways that we help take you to that next level. It's a core fundamental in business. The next pillar, challenge and encourage. So this is accountability. But it's not just accountability like, hey, how many phone calls did you make? It's also challenging you to think outside of the box, to see the things that you actually cannot see yourself, get those ahas. That's where the coaching comes in. That's where the value comes in. But it's also encouraging in the right way so that you feel inspired, you feel motivated, you feel like psyched when you come out of these coaching sessions that you're ready to attack the world and be successful and be your best self. And the last part of that, which kind of plays into that 5th pillar, is what I call energy and health. We have to take care of ourselves. It's a huge part of the life coaching, but it's amazing how much it impacts your business, the energy that you bring. And there's so many parts of that play into it. There's nutrition, there is your sleep, there is how you manage transitions during your day. It's just how your mental health, how you deal with all of that. And so when you can master these 6 pillars, what we're calling the Realtor operating system, you can conquer the world. You can be your very best. And that's what we're doing here at RYBLAB. So how do we create all of this, these 6 pillars? What I did was I took the best of the 2, what I feel like are the best coaching platforms in the world for life coaching and for business coaching. And I put the lens of a realtor on that, my 20 years of experience. And I sifted through that and synthesized the coaching. And this was one of the big inspirations, this book that I'm going to give you if you fill out one of our strategy session questionnaires. And this is the book called High Performance Habits. And it was written by Brendon Burchard, who's one of the top life coaches in the world. He's a 3-time New York Times bestselling author. He is the CEO of the High Performance Institute. He's got millions of fans on Facebook and millions of video views on YouTube. He's ranked as one of the most influential leaders in personal growth, and he is Oprah Winfrey's coach. He's coached also a bunch of billionaires and really high-level executives. So he's an amazing inspiration. I coach his platform. I have become certified under his program, and within the High Performance Habits framework to coach under his material. And so I've been trained extensively on that. The second thing that we foundational platform we use is for business coaching, this book called Traction. And if you have people who are business owners, friends or family members who are running small businesses, they probably have heard of Traction and Gino, who is again a New York Times bestselling author. They've sold over 1.2 million copies of this book, and 80,000 companies around the world are actually using the fundamentals in this book to really build their businesses. And so again, we've taken the best of these 2 platforms, really put the lens of a realtor on it, and that is what the Realtor operating system is all about. So here's a little bit of coaching. You came here for information, but you also came here for some value, and I want to give you some value here, and I'm going to basically go through a couple things. First of all, if I were to coach you and we were going to start off, we would be starting with clarity and vision. Both high performance coaching and traction coaching, they both start off with the roadmap. And so one of the reasons people are not operating at their highest level, or even when they're operating at a really high level and they want to go higher, we really focus and have to focus in on this clarity and this vision component. And that includes the following types of things. What are your core values? Who are you focusing on? How are you developing deeper relationships? That's essentially your marketing plan. What is your 1-year plan? What is your 3-year and 10-year vision? What are your goals? And do you have a system for measuring against those? So one of the things, if you want to get something out of this presentation, write these questions down and start going through and answering them. You'll see a huge amount of benefit because it's going to give you some clarity around your business. And of course, we go much deeper into each of these core pillars in our coaching program. Another question that I like to ask in coaching, and this one is that really gets you to think outside the box, is if you were to 10x your business this year, or rather over the next 5 years, you're going to go from say you're doing 100,000, you want to do 1 million, what would you need to do? That's a pretty interesting question, don't you think? Because it's not like you can just make more phone calls. You have to really think outside the box. Like, what would I need to change? What pieces would I need to put in place? And it's these types of questions that we ask, help you arrive at answers, and then help you build a plan to getting there. And that's how we get such amazing results for our clients. So I want to talk a little bit about the case studies, testimonials. This is Dennis. Dennis runs a very successful brokerage in Silicon Valley with Metis Real Estate. He found our program to be a game changer. He shifted to, for this mindset of having to complete those to-dos and every task on his list to really focusing in on the big rocks, the most important things, and how that's made such an impact in his business. This is Aaron. Aaron has been coaching with us for quite a while. He says that not only does he get a ton of accountability, but he also gains a huge amount of clarity for his business and his life. And these are some of his statistics. We actually took him, he was doing 23 deals in 2020. He did just 17, so he went down in the total number of deals, but look at how his average sales price increased dramatically I mean, even with the price increases that we've seen in the market, he went from $1,097,000 as an average buyer side sale to $1,903,000, almost doubled it. And again, that gets back to where are we focusing, and then how are we creating those relationships? And there's that accountability. So he dramatically increased his income, but his total transactions went down. He had to work less, make more, right? Great case study. This is Sabrina. Sabrina has had an amazing experience in coaching. She's been coaching with us for about the last 4 or 5 months. She has been in the business for 16 years, and she believes that the ideas that she's getting, the accountability, the support, and the programs are so helpful. She's done other coaching programs, but one of the things that she really likes is this integration between business coaching and life coaching, which is one of our unique value propositions. This is Emo. Emo, also his volume increased by over $3 million for the year, and had a huge increase in his income as well. And so again, he's increasing his price points. And so really great testimonial there. This is Sarah. Her results speak for themselves. Obviously, her income increased 84%, and her volume was up $5,750,000 in 1 year. And is this all because of RYBLAB coaching? Well, a lot of it is, but of course you got to make the effort and you have to take action as well. But these are people that wanted to go to that next level, and they are. And they can go even higher, and I'm continuing to challenge them in the process, and this is how it's paying off. So I just wanted to throw in those case studies. Here's another one. This team is in Seattle. They are a very successful land development team. We had them actually, when we did the core values exercise, they actually put their core values right on their window. So now their employees come in, they see it. When they're making hiring and firing decisions, they're able to have something that helps guide them. And when you look at these really successful companies, like an Amazon, for example, they know their core values, and they continually reinforce them as they're going through their hiring and their firing, and they're sifting through to find the best people possible. And that's what really creates great companies and creates great results, is people rowing in the same direction. And one of the challenges with realtors, of course, we're doing it by ourselves. So we have to have ways to build momentum and build support for ourselves to get the results that we want. Here's the thing is, I think that I've been involved with ninja selling. I've been involved with the core training, Brian Buffini. I've had coaching from all of those different companies, as well as a lot of the students that we have. And what I believe is that it's great to coach on how to build sales, but it's a whole nother level to coach around these core fundamental pillars of life coaching and business coaching with two of the best programs with that lens of the real estate agent. And it's, I don't think, enough anymore. You want to go to that next level, you can't focus on just making more phone calls or prospecting activities. You have to really understand how it integrates in with everything else you have going on. And that's what we're doing at RYBLAB. We're asking the right questions, and it's our unique value proposition. So the other part of that is, I mentioned that the world is speeding up and we have to have a filter for the best strategies, the best tactics, like what apps to use. And what's great, over the last 6-7 years, I've been able to, as I've been coaching all of these real estate agents, to be able to get the best and see what's working and what people are having great success with, and to sift through that and help you really ask the right questions. So I'm not telling you like what CRM to use necessarily, but we're asking you, well, what do you want to get out of a CRM? Do you want auto texting features? Do you want to create pipelines and email follow-ups and automations? What kind of sales activity do you want to track? Do you want to be able to do it mobilely and through voice dictation or whatever those things are? And we help you select the right ones for you. And so that's what we're doing, not just CRMs, but all these other technologies. And there's a lot of cool ones out there that can create a lot of great results for you. So that is another benefit of RYBLAB. What we're doing is we're taking these two amazing coaching platforms, High Performance and Traction, we're sifting through it, putting the realtor lens on it. We're also looking at the best technology, what's working, what's not, and we're going to the next step of helping the real estate agent implement that into their business. And the way that we're doing it is using the best technology, the most current technology that did not exist 3 or 4 years ago, honestly. We deliver this coaching and the training through an app called Kajabi. And our website is also built on Kajabi. And it's an amazing, amazing tool. And I'm so excited to be able to present this kind of information and have this kind of impact with agents, because now we can do it in a very economical way. So if you want to increase the odds of success in your business by up to 95%, invest in yourself. Don't go out and spend a bunch of money with Zillow. Don't go down some rabbit hole with somebody that's just emailed you, hey, here's a great way to build your business through this online lead generation system. It's in the coaching where you can really get your best return, and I think you saw that with some of the testimonials. So if you want to increase your odds of success, here are basically the studies on it. If you don't put any accountability in place, you have a very low likelihood of making it happen. If you set a goal and you tell somebody else, you get that accountability with that person, you can increase your odds dramatically up to about 65-70%. But if you set a goal, if you get ongoing coaching and you have that accountability from somebody that really knows what they're doing in the business, there's no limits on the results that you can get. I mean, think about with trainers, like you want to get in better shape. You could just join a gym, and most people do this, they start going to the gym, and then eventually they get frustrated and they don't have that accountability and they give up. Some people will say get a gym partner, and for a while they do really well, but eventually, when the other person goes on vacation or they get sick or something like that and they kind of fall off. But if you hire a coach and you pay them, and there's a job there, there's like this structure there, and you establish goals and you have somebody that really knows what they're doing, physical fitness, they've been trained, they understand how the muscles work and how to motivation and inspiration, all those things, and they can provide that framework. That is how you achieve your goals. And hopefully you resonate or you can understand what I'm trying to say there. So we believe that having a coach or a mentor brings 3 things. Brings clarity, brings effective strategies, brings accountability. Huge, huge things. And this is what it takes to make those shifts necessary to get the results that you want. Maybe it's like increasing your income, but maybe it's creating that better life balance for yourself so you can be more present with your kids, your family. So the question is, are you performing at your best? Are you a 10? And if you're already a 10, again, you probably just wasted the last 30 minutes. But if you're below, if you're a 9, 8, 7, 6, a lot of people are coming in that 6, 7 range. Coaching can really help you go to that next level. You need a coach. Look, you've chosen an amazing business to work in. I love real estate. It is a business that you have really unlimited potential, and there's so many different parts of it. Doctors, on average, they make $175,000 a year and they train for 14 years. We're in a business where we can make $300,000, $400,000, $700,000 or more, $1 million or more. And a coach can help you get there. I've invested, hundreds of thousands really of dollars in training, in coaching, in time. And every time it was a huge decision. That's a lot of money to put out for coaching. And we have a bunch of different programs we go into later if you take our strategy session form and schedule a time with me. But every time it's paid off. Every time I've gotten the results. And again, you just have to have the faith that what you're working on is actually going to pay off. And that's one thing that holds a lot of people back from doing coaching is they think, oh, well, I'm going to spend all this money. I'm not going to get that return. But our people are getting those returns. I just showed it to you in the testimonials. I would encourage you, here's the thing, don't go it alone. It takes too long and it doesn't lead to optimal outcomes. If it's not me and RYBLAB.com or Run Your Business Like a Business, look for the best coach that you can find, somebody that really resonates with you, and hire them. Get a coach. It'll help you so much. The world's best athletes and executives, they all hire coaches. You just don't typically see them like LeBron James or Tiger Woods or Serena Williams. They all have coaches. And these are the best in the world. And when they hire these coaches, it's not like these coaches were, great golfers or basketball players before them and were better than they ever were. They're hiring people that really specialize and are good at coaching. And that is one of the reasons that I have transitioned into being a coach, is because I believe that I have the skills necessary to really coach you at a super high level, no matter where you're at in your business. So how can I help? Well, I've set aside time in my calendar to speak to you personally about how you can apply these ideas and more to your business and your life. But here's the deal. I am looking for only a select group of agents. Those agents that really want to take themselves to the next level, but are going to apply themselves and actually do the work necessary to be great, to be their very best, and to make an impact. That's how I want to spend my time coaching people and the type of people I want to coach. So how do you do it? Well, step one is I'm going to provide a link in this webinar, and it'll take you to what we call our strategy session questionnaire. It's a questionnaire, about 40 questions. It's going to take you about 30 to 40 minutes to go through it all. So you'll want to set aside time to do that. Once you complete that, it will actually take you to my calendar to schedule a one-on-one consultation. It's a free coaching session, essentially. It's about 45 to 60 minutes, and we're going to go through what your goals are, what you want to try to achieve with coaching, and that is the step to getting started. So it's a complimentary coaching session, and again, I'm going to personally go through your particular situation to craft a step-by-step game plan to attracting the business that you want. So if that is of interest, I know the struggle. This is a tough business. This is a business where you have huge potential, but you also have this challenge of how it integrates with it in your life, because it can be so all-consuming. But here's my commitment to you, is that I know, I'm 100% confident that through these coaching platforms, through the experience that I'm bringing to the table, that I can help you be your best. I can help you, operate at your very highest levels and get the most out of what you want in the shortest period of time, and being the best that you want. So again, here's the thing, click that link below. If you're interested, you want to fill out these 40 questions and schedule a time with me. Spaces are limited, honestly, because we are growing so quickly and we've got such a great platform. So I would encourage you to just click the link below, schedule a session. There's no obligation under that or more than that. And what we'll do is we'll not only craft that plan for you, but also I'll tell you about the different coaching programs that we have, which are very affordable, you're going to get a lot of value. And we're seeing, at least, if you've invested $1, you're at least getting 10x in most cases of a return on your coaching dollars. So I want to thank you for listening to this webinar. I really appreciate you taking this time out of your day. And I want to encourage you to, if you don't want to join coaching or you don't want to do the strategy session, at least sign up to do the strategy session so I can get this book into your hands and send it to you free, so you can actually start to do your kind of own homework on whether this material would be right for you. So thanks for listening to this video, and we'll see you real soon.